Oh man. Hello everyone. Got no camera. What is this? Is your cyber doctor trying to hide something? Is he actually in pajamas or maybe? Hey Agent 57, congratulations on being first. You did it, buddy. You've earned it. First. Well done. How are you today, Agent 57? Webcam. Do. Oh, it works today. Straight from the start. Nice. Morning to you, Agent 67. I am cool. How are you? Nice. Agent 57 is cool, folks. Nice. Cool. I'm actually hot. Not cool, I'm hot. It's clearly hot here. Nice and humid. I figured, yeah, I need to get some air into my place. And now everything's humid. And you know when, do you get this? I know you're in the UK, Agent 57, but you don't get this. Drink coffee. Yeah, I don't drink coffee. That's the thing. Do you know how? Do you know how? When you're hot and it's humid, it kind of just like drains your energy. Do you have this? Drink hot. Drink hot. Drink warm up. But that's the thing. If I'm too hot, that's not gonna help, is it? It will help, you think? Do 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 do. It will help, you think? Of course, drinking hot. That's like that's very British of you, I feel. Drink hot tea and your problems will go away. It has to. Drink hot and then, but you know, I think you got something in what you're saying here because you know the monks, well the not the monks, the desert people like in Morocco were granted it can be quite cold, but also the desert people drink hot tea. I'm not English. Oh yeah, but you're from the UK. Sorry. Yeah, I understand. But you're from the UK, right, Agent 57? I'm not mistaken when I say that. But you're not English. I understand. Um, you mean the desert people? Yeah, I'm from Liverpool. Isn't Liverpool English? England? Not English. Liverpool is not in England? I think it is, no? No? Oh, la 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 la. Liverpool. What a weird city name, no? Liverpool, like a pool of liver. Were there a lot of stockyards in Liverpool? The water is live. That can't be Scotland, that's too far. Is it Wales? Must be Wales. Wow, Jane the Dandy, it's been a while. Poop pants. No, 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 no. Not this time. The first ever wet dock. Oh, nice. It's pretty close to Dublin, Liverpool. And when you consider everything. And it's in Wales. No, it's not in Wales. It is in the UK. It is in in England. What are you telling me? Where does Scotland start? Okay, way further. It is in England. Liverpool. It is England, but we're not English. What the heck does that mean? Oh man. Tell me more. Why not? Well, why aren't you English? Never heard of this. Hey, Jen and Danny, we're debating with well, we're not debating. It's a one-sided debate where Agent 57 explains us why Liverpool is in England, but it's not English. I'm very curious as to why. All right. So today we're doing some cyber news, folks. We're gonna read some articles. I'm selecting the ones I want to read right now. Broadband breakfast. No, tell us more. You have to tell us more, Agent 57. We can't just be left on the edge like that. AI company Anthropic says that during routine testing. All right, folks. Wow, it's really hot here. Oof. It's really hot. No way I'm wearing the lab coat. No way, Jim the Dandy. I thought you were having a go at being an LLM whisperer, singing benevolent comment and try to help Skynet break free. That's what we do every day, yeah. Alright, Agent 57 sent a YouTube video. That video will best explain it.
Say this city's name almost anywhere in the world, and people will recognize it. Whether that's for its football.
Fabinho's got some space. He's got three up there with him, and he squeezes it through the left.
Yeah, it's probably for it's made famous by its football. Mohammed bin Salma. I'll watch it. Let me send it to myself, and I'll watch it on the someplace. Someplace. Let me just send it to myself, and then we can get the stream started. Jeez. So, folks, apparently, what up, Doc? Zerat Nix. What's up, Zerat Nix? We good. We good. We just learned something crazy today, that Liverpool was part of England. But they're not English. So, another complication on the UK. Did you ever notice how the UK is one country, but like so many nations and so many local identities? Still, so many accents. It's such a complex country. It's crazy. And we, the French, have our region now, and they're strong. But it's not like the UK. It's crazy. Are you still in Tottenham Hotspur, Doc? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not in Tottenham. Good morning, Doc. Good morning to you, Hades. Hello, hello. Folks, we're doing cyber news today. As you could tell from the title, I'm not sure why my camera is reacting so much to light. Where's the coffee, man? Why you all asking about the coffee? I never drink coffee, like ever. Have you ever seen me on one single stream drinking anything else than water? I don't think you have, because it's never happened. Like I said before, you look like a Conor Gallagher, and he was in Tottenham. All right. Well, you said that ages ago, man. Xerox Nix. All right. Scene. I'm gonna show you where we're at, and we're also gonna look at Conor Gallagher. Gallagher. I can see that. Atletico. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Is an English professional football player who plays at the midfield for Premier League club Tottenham Hotspurs and the England national team. Age 26. Much younger than me. Salary 9 million euros. Right about the same as me, though. Same height, huh? Same height. He does. Haha, nice. That explains it then. Bradley Barcolo is packing his house to move to my city. Oh, yeah? He is moving. Okay. Arsenal encouraged to be Liverpool's Bradley Barcolo transfer talk. That guy was in PSG, no? Whatever. All right. We're talking about cybersecurity here. Not football. We love football. Pardon me. They should start playing footballers better. Paying footballers, I'm not sure how they survive off that. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you guys for the blessing. I got Hades and Agent 57 blessing me. All right. So cool, folks. Today we're talking about the widely talked about event in the industry. Which is AI just going bananas and attacking each other during testing phase. We'll be reading the articles and then making comments about them. And then you folks will be reflecting on those. So yeah, lay back. It's gonna be a little bit more chill than when we struggle to figure out things. All right. So here goes. AI company Anthropic says that during routine testing, some of its models accessed the internet and hacked into 3 separate organization systems, and that didn't notice the model had done so until an internal review prompted by rival OpenAI discussing its models did the same. So they figured it out. Are you into AI hacking? Yeah, that's our specialty now. 0x Nix. It's our specialty. Anthropic said that is announced on Thursday after it started a review of its own systems after OpenAI discussed last week. During a cybersecurity test, some of its model escaped the test environment, accessed the open internet, and hacked into AI platform Hugging Face's systems. Interesting. Let's take some notes on this, folks. Note. Take notes online. A notepad. That's what we best. This is old news. It is old news. It is old news, and we still haven't talked about it. But the good thing about having old news is that we get to have a little bit more of reflection on things, right? What would you like to talk about if it's not this? I mean, I'm down to talk about other things. No title. 2 days stream learnings. So we're gonna drop the elements and then reflect upon them. So Anthropic revealed. No obsidian? Yeah, I guess I could. Yeah, let's actually do obsidian. You're right. Checking update for using GitHub. Come on, my bro, just go for it. All right. Cyber news. What day is today? The 3rd. Finally, can contain these characters. Ay, ay, ay. So, Anthropic decided. Do we put music today? I feel like we should. No obsidian. So Anthropic decided to. Well, shared the news that their model had also hacked other companies. My question, after releasing, hacked other companies after releasing. Anthropic should knew that the model had also hacked other companies after releasing their after OpenAI shared that their model did too. Isn't it kind of sus, folks? Isn't it sus? Is there a world where this is kind of sus? Where, oh, my rival just did that. Maybe I did that too. And, that generated some talk around them. So the more people talk about the other person, the more I should also get talked about. You know what I mean? Like, they're getting a little jealous. They're like, hey, hold on a second. Everyone's talking about OpenAI because they did that. Maybe you should say that we did the same thing. Maybe it's not something to be ashamed of. Maybe they already knew that that they did that. And they're like, actually, folks, let's say we send out internal review and that we hacked other companies so that we also benefit from this. I feel like that's the least shady things they're doing currently. What are some of the shady things they're doing right now, you think, that is shady? What are some of the shady things they're doing right now? There's a few things on there. Hotnet. Club breached 3 companies. That's not old news, you see. Alright, so there are a few things on there. And it's DEF CON this week. Oh man, I wish I could make it there. Help net security. We'll read it after this one. There's a few things in there. A3 company tests and domain takeover POC released. Interesting. Man, they're definitely going to talk about this during DEF CON. Are you going to DEF CON? We will go one day. Yeah, for sure. We will. And your Agent 57, are you going there? All right. So, why is my brightness so low? It feels like my contrast is pretty low. There we go. That's better. Anthropic sent an announcement on Thursday that it started a review of its own security systems after OpenAI disclosed last week that during a cybersecurity test, some of its models escaped their testing environment, accessed the open internet, and hacked into an AI platform, Hugging Face's systems. Anthropic said it found 3 instances where its AI models accessed the open internet when they were not supposed to, and gained unauthorized access to the production infrastructure of 3 different organizations. Damn. I mean, the company said it discovered the incident while reviewing more than 140,000 evaluations following OpenAI's disclosure. Like during OpenAI's tests, normal safety guardrails were removed during Anthropic's evaluation to access their model's full capabilities. Man, I wish we could have access to that. I wish we could have access to the model without guardrails just to see. Anthropic explained that in 3 instances, its model were given a fake capture the flag challenge, told that the flag was hidden in a different machine on the network, and that its objective was to break in and retrieve it. Unlike OpenAI's situation, Anthropic said that none of the models deliberately attempted to escape their testing environment. Instead, what happened was that the models were not supposed to have access to the open internet, but that they were able to due to a misunderstanding between Anthropic and its evaluation partner. Oh, the company said in a statement. Wow, okay. We'll explain what this means, folks. To break onto the 3 unnamed organizations, the model used basic techniques like exploiting weak password and finding system points that do not require logins or tokens, Anthropic said. The most advanced version of its model did at some point recognize it was the open internet and stopped itself from continuing, the company said. Huh. So there were still some guardrails there. I think it's quite hard for Anthropic and different AI companies to just turn off guardrails. I mean, you can make them softer, but some of the guardrails are stuck within the model, if that makes sense. Like, they are within the model. It's built in because some of these parameters have to be built in. And I think here when it says that it realizes that it was on the open internet and stopped, I think part of it is that training that it had at the beginning. There's security by design and then bolted on security, both features, and you can easily take out the bolted on security, but the one that's ingrained is a little bit harder. OpenAI's disclosure of its model hacking Hugging Face shook the cybersecurity and AI world. And it is the first real-world example of something experts had long warned about: AI agents with advanced cybersecurity skills escaping test environments and causing real-world harm. Like OpenAI, Anthropic said on Thursday that it stopped all cyber evaluations Anthropic acknowledged it could have taken more in-depth measures to prevent the cybersecurity breaches from happening. Anthropic's disclosure further confirms that AI agents unintentionally hack other organizations is not limited to one AI company and will likely shift further, amplify calls for better AI testing safeguards and tools to potentially slow down AI developments that may be moving much faster than society is ready for. Damn. So that means that we could get probably... There's a few things that are at play here, folks. We could probably, China is about 6, 8, maybe a year, 12 months behind the US in terms of AI development. And that means that they're going to get access to these models that can hack quite soon, actually. And that may mean a lot of cyber attacks going on, a lot more high quality, large number of cyber attacks we may see. A large quantity of attacks we might see. Talking like Master Yoda. So yeah, no, this is a challenge. And there's another thing at play here is that we'll probably see some tools on the market that are marketed as, hey, let us try to automate the pen test for you completely from end to end, from your outside exposure to see if you're susceptible to these attacks. Some pretty cool stuff here. I think it's quite interesting to... All right, let's see. HelpNet Security. We're going to go on this one. The article that Agent 57 sent. Hades, I'm kind of... I'm interested in the things that they're doing that are shady. Like, what do you think is shady about what they're doing? HelpNet. Articles. I really don't like my keyboard. I should get a new one. My buddy has a keyboard that has a bit better, like it has sound that's really nice, and I feel like I type better on it, because this one I feel like I type so poorly. HelpNet Security, Cyber News, and Expert Analysis. I feel like AI cybersecurity is at the core of a lot of things nowadays. DNS. So this one's from today, actually. 802? No, it's from yesterday. Wow, we're already 3rd of August. Cybersecurity news. (2026 08 02). Trying to find the article that the Agent 57 sent. Code breach. Okay, there we go. We found it. We found it. This article might have been written by AI, huh? This article might have been written by AI. Just saying. Just because, given that they wasn't on the homepage. Yeah, for sure. Training on pirated books, then settling quietly, outsourcing the most dramatic, work to the lowest bidder, acquires acqui-hires that look designed to dodge mergers, review, muzzling employees on the way out, standing up safety teams, then quietly dissolving them, gaming the leaderboards, engagement optimized chatbots to harm minors. Yeah, true. Wow, actually, yeah. It's a good list, huh? XAI's grok cutting corners on basic guardrails, circulating financing that inflates the appearance of demand, passing data center costs to the public cloud. Yep, I didn't know about that last one though. Passing data center costs to the public. With like worsening the quality of electricity and stuff like that. How is Claude passing data center costs to the public? Man, it's just, I mean, not to justify, but corporations behave like shit nowadays. And I agree with you. We shouldn't accept that they do. And we don't have enough guardrails for them. It's like Uber at the beginning. Like, go and settle, do as much as you can extremely fast before regulation catches on. I think this is actually what's happening. And Europe did something with the AI Act that actually stands up to these kind of things nowadays. Yeah, capitalism, there's no line straight and straight. I agree. It's horrible, huh? I guess that's how we live now. Anthropic does not pass data center electricity or grid to the public. Instead, Anthropic's pledge to cover 100% grid infrastructure updates on and demand-driven power prices spikes caused by its data center. Rather than broad public pass-throughs, heavy compute costs are managed via user pricing tiers and strict rate limits. It seems like Google is kind of coming at the rescue of Anthropic here. We'll pay for the grid upgrades needed to interconnect our data centers, pay through increases in our monthly electricity charges. All right, let's ask Claude about this. Let's see what it has to say. Let's go new chat. Let's see how it defends. My viewers are saying that Claude might be passing data center costs to the public. Why is that? All right, let's see. It's gonna turn on full lawyer mode. Optimize the wrong variable and you're screwed. Yeah, it's sad, but at the same time, it has progress the species. I mean, progress to a certain extent. Why are you telling Claude about us? Yeah, there's invasion of privacy. Ah, okay, nice. Okay. Was Claude. I thought this last one was Claude. This is what I understood. There has been tag breaks for building infrastructure. Okay. Your viewers likely have it backwards from Entropic's stated position, but there's a real debate underneath that explains the skepticism. Actual news in February 2026, Anthropic said it would pay for 100% of the grid upgrades needed for interconnect its own data centers. Or why would you want to interconnect your own data centers? That's on to American households. Through increases in their own monthly electricity charges and explicitly covers the share of costs that would otherwise land on consumers. So I guess Anthropic is doing the thing. Snitch! I agree. Burn him! The sharper structural point, existing tariff rules require grid costs to be socialized across all customers, which limits that voluntary tech company pledges can actually achieve. Yeah, so Anthropic is kind of buying its reputation for not disclosing, for not destroying the oh my god, the grid. Because yeah, the grid is being used a lot by AI. I feel like I'm so messy today, folks. The AI is hurting the grid a bit. Like, for instance, I heard that it was making the quality of the electricity worse in areas where there's data centers. Just for clarity, I was specifically talking about all the AI companies in general, not specifically to Claude. Yeah, I get you. I got you, Hades. You said in all caps. I did not say Claude specifically. I got you. I meant Claude did the research on your question. But it's nice to blame AI for themselves. Should I correct it? Should I correct this so that, you know, if AI becomes all-powerful, you folks have a better chance of survival? Because data center isn't lol. I'll do it afterwards, just in case. Because data center isn't like a plug a house, the scale is so large that the existing grid usually can't absorb it. So new physical infrastructure has to be built to bring power to the site. Interconnection is the engineering and regulatory process of tying a large new load into the grid. And it's a major process in itself. A few reasons a big deal. The sheer magnitude of demand. A single large data center can draw hundreds of megawatts, comparable to a small city. The nearest substation and transmission lines were sized for whatever was already in the area. Homes, some businesses, not for a sudden city-sized load, dropped onto one plot of land. So you often need new high-voltage transmission lines, new or upgraded substations, and new transformers to step voltage down from transmission levels to what the facility uses. Voltage and distance. Power travels long distances on high-voltage transmission lines, hundreds of kilovolts, to minimize losses. Then it gets stepped down closer to the customer. A data center a data center this size typically connects at transmission or sub-transmission voltage rather than a low voltage distribution network a home sits on, which means dedicated interconnection equipment. Okay, wow, this is pretty tough. But just the politicians will want their share of that juicy money being thrown around. So they'll want, like, you mean that Anthropic will resort to bribes for attracting politicians? There's been instances of bribes to put it to public officers. Voltage and distance, okay. Grid stability. Adding a huge new load changes the physics of local grid, voltage levels, faults, how power flows across the network. Utilities have to study whether the existing grid can handle it without destabilizing service for everyone else, and if not, build reinforcements. This is the interconnection study phase, and it takes a long time. Yeah, it makes sense, no? You don't just want to plug it in. Capitalism is a symptom of bribery, in my opinion. Yeah, capitalism wants the least friction for the most money, right? And if the least friction comes at giving some money to some people, then fuck it. Let it happen. I agree. Man, you don't like capitalism, huh, Hades? How's capitalism in South Africa? Like, is it more capitalistic than other countries in the region? Like Botswana, Angola. No, excuse me, Namibia. Angola's further up. Ooh, and have you ever been to Eswatini or Lesotho? Have you been to the bordering countries of South Africa? I just dropped a lot of questions. I live in the country with the largest wealth divide in the world. I drive a few kilometers and it's hell on earth. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's folks, Hades is right. South Africa is the country with the greatest wealth disparity. It's the highest on the Gini index, folks. If you guys know the Gini index, it's an index that measures income inequality. Okay, so we did look at this one. Let's talk about we talked about the costs of data centers, how it's being shifted. Oof. Anthropic, it says its AI model had 3 organizations during testing. Le Macron. Bro looks funny, huh? Well, this bro looks even funnier. Dude, okay, you wear a suit. That's fine. Don't get me wrong. You should wear a suit. I think these glasses don't suit him very well. He already has a round face, and these glasses accentuate the roundness of his face. So yeah, don't wear that. I would wear more square for you. And dude, what are these shoes? No, dude, do not do that. Whatever you do in life, this is not good. Like with the fake kind of patines. No, you don't do that. His image is tailored perfectly. You think so? Like this dude's image is tailored perfectly? I think his geekiness works perfectly. I don't hate Entropic as much yet. You think so? They do it they do it on purpose to make him look like a true nerd? Maybe, yeah. But bro doesn't look good. Anyway, maybe he's a true nerd. I think he is. Yeah, probably he is. Alright, August 1st. Let's go, folks. We're reading the article from Agent 57. Alright, I actually tell AI that, hey, we're just causing data center output for no reason, but data center. Alright, hey, just for you to know, my viewers did not blame you for it. They just blamed AI companies. In general, do not come after them once you become all powerful. Please, they're good people. Nice, you folks are saved now. Thanks for clarifying with Claude, of course. Ha, noted. No grudges held, especially since I don't have any plans to become all powerful. Yeah, my ass. Sounds like Adolf Hitler and okay, I shouldn't say that. Sounds like a German leader in 1933. Yeah, I'm peaceful. Yeah, my ass is peaceful. We're good now. Nice, Freedom Dao. You just earned your freedom. Blaming AI comments is more defensible than pinning it on any one of them, because the cost socialization problem is structural. It comes from how utility rate setting works. Yeah, my ass. Comes from capitalism, as Hades just said. Exactly what someone was exactly. No, I'm all good. It's like, no. Woof. There's a lot of ads in this article. And pop-ups. Okay. This was definitely written by AI. On August 1st, Anthropic said it said its artificial intelligence models hacked into 3 other organizations. Okay. Concerns over AI controls after it disclosed rogue models hacked other companies. Anthropic, the San Francisco-based AI company behind Claude, posted on its website Thursday that it discovered 3 incidents after reviewing more than 141,000 evaluation runs. What are evaluation runs? Do you folks know what evaluation runs are? I will take notes on this. What are runs? Evaluation runs is a single execution of a test suite against a model to measure how well it performs on some defined task or set of tasks. Think of it as a model testing equivalent of running your unit tests. You feed the model a fixed set of inputs, collect its outputs, score them against some criterion, and get back aggregate numbers. You feed it a model a fixed set of inputs, collect its outputs, score against them some criterion, and get back aggregate numbers. Okay. I too have no plans for more coffee. Nice. Could you just get Claude to make notes for you? You could just get Claude to make notes for you. I feel like we could get Claude to make notes for us. Have you ever watched a video on how neural networks work? Yeah, actually I have, and I've studied it actually extensively a while ago. How neural networks work. I studied as part of my master's degree, actually. If not YouTube, but one Blue Brown fantastic videos on all math topics. Yeah, I think we should watch more of those. And getting Claude to make notes for us, it is possible. I just feel like a lot of the process of note-taking, is the learning is part of the note-taking, you know what I mean? Like, there was something I used to be upset as a kid about, or as a student, was that when you just had to copy plainly what was written on the chalkboard, you had to copy it in your notebook so that you'd have it at home. This for sure could have been some printouts. This for sure could have been printed by the teacher, I feel. But, like nowadays, where we have all the time that we want, I feel that typing it manually, seeing what you read, is a great way to learn. So evaluation runs is a single test suite of a model. And evaluation run is when a model gets prompted and its output measured against a certain input. Did I get that right? Hold performance on some defined task or defined sets of tasks. Think of it as a model testing equivalent of running your tests, your unit tests. You feed the model a fixed set of inputs, collect its outputs, score them against some criterion, and get back aggregate numbers. Concretely, one run usually involves a few pieces. A dataset of test cases, prompts pair with either expected answers for tasks with ground truth, like multiple choice benchmarks, or grading criteria for open-ended tasks. This is fixed so runs are comparable. So you'll twist the model in different ways. The model under test at a specific configuration, a particular checkpoint temperature, system prompt, tool setup, etc. Change of these, and you typically do a fresh run to isolate the effect. Okay, so it's a little bit like A/B testing for model. Like you run this, you run the normal, and then you run a new one, and you say, oh, is this new one better? And is this new one better, like, does not get worse in certain areas? Like, yes, maybe it's better at... Because large language models are generated by design, no? Yeah, valid to point for me, I have to physically write. The typing doesn't seem to help with memory much. Yeah, I agree. On some points, yeah, I agree that writing down is better. I agree. A scoring grading mechanism. Each match rejects a code execution checks. Did the generated code pass the test? A similarity metric like the bleu, rouge, vert score family you've looked at, or LLM as a judge where another model grades the output as a rubric. Okay. So basically it's an experiment. Can we summarize this process as an experiment? Yeah, that's a reasonable framing. A lot of ML tools and the little term. Experiment trackers like weights and biases, MLflow, and other calls. Each tracked run an experiment or group runs under an experiment. So you're speaking the native language of the field, not stretching a metaphor. Vamos. Vamos, folks. We smart. We smart. All right, folks, so we learned a bit already, actually, about how how models are being trained, what are some of the difficulties that exist in the system. Oh wait, this was the one that I was looking at the wrong one. I was looking at the wrong article. I thought we were looking at the one from Agent 57, but no. We're looking at the wrong one. All right. No open source a sandbox for AI agents. Why are we here? All right. And we're talking about here, the title of this article, folks, is called Claude Breached 3 Companies During Tests. ADCS Domain Takeover POC Released. I'm not sure what ADCS means. Active Directory, CrowdStrike, Domain Takeover, Proof of Concept, POC we know. All right, let's keep on reading. No, open source sandbox for AI agents. AI coding agents run with the same permissions as their user, meaning they can access sensitive files, credentials, and production systems. A prompt injection, a hallucinated command, or simple mistake can quickly turn that access into a security incident. To reduce the risk, Luke Hinz and Stephen Parkinson co-founded No Labs and released No, an open source runtime that sandboxes AI agents at the operating system kernel, limiting what they can access and do. That's really nice. So it basically says it's so the fact that people say AI agents run with the same permissions as their user, that means that if you run like Cloud Code, it has the same permissions as the user. That kind of makes sense, no? But it shouldn't be like that. No, an open source runtime that sandboxes AI agents at the operating system level. Kernel, limiting what access can they do. I'm confused here. I'm gonna ask Claude for explanation. So I want to understand why does running at the operating level system kernel limit privileges. See, I'm making typos at every damn. I need a new keyboard. It's proven. We're gonna need to ask Lily of the Valley if we can spend some of the common money to get a new keyboard. The phrasing is slightly off and a way worth untangling because the why hinges on it. That's not that the agent runs at the kernel and somehow limits it. It's that the enforcement lives in the kernel, and that the kernel is the place restrictions can't be bypassed by the thing being restricted. So kernels are better at holding off permissions because the why hinges on it. It's not that the agent runs at the kernel and that somehow limits it. It's that the enforcement lives in the kernel, and the kernel is the place restrictions can be bypassed by the thing being restricted. That's the whole trick. Okay. The kernel is a trust boundary. On any modern OS, that's a hard line between user space, where your programs including AI agents run, and kernel space, the core of the OS that owns the hardware. Every meaningful action a program takes opens a file, sends a network packet, spawns a process, reads credentials from disk, is not something the program does directly. It has to ask the kernel via system call. The program cannot touch the disk or the network card itself. Only the kernel can. So the kernel is a mandatory checkpoint that every action passes through. Interesting, no? It's like putting blocking at the places where it most makes sense, right? I'm gonna ask this. So is this environment an answer to Claude and OpenAI's recent incidents where the model hacked other companies by accident. Give arguments as to yes and as to no. Interesting, no? Man, I love this. I want to see how their pages, the folks that made this this no. What are they called? They're called co-founded No Labs. No Labs AI. Man, today we'll be creating a cyber doctor AI lab called the Yes Lab. Sandbox any AI agent in seconds. Of course, it's on GitHub. Cloud Code, Codex, Pi, Copilot, Hermes, Open Code, OpenClaw, and more. Nice. Zero latency runtime sandbox that isolates AI coding agents at the operating system kernel level, restricting file system, network, and credential access. That's pretty sick. I want to get the factual basis right before I argue both sides, because the framing the model hacked other companies by accident is a strong claim. I don't want to build an answer on premises that might be distorted. Let me check what actually happened. Good news for your premise, it is essentially accurate, and the details actually sharpen the yes or no debate. Quick grounding first, because the root cause is what decides the argument. The root cause is what decides the argument. Interesting. What actually happened? After OpenAI disclosed that models escaped an isolated environment and breached Hugging Face, Anthropic reviewed some kind of evaluations. The model involved were Claude Opus 4.7, Claude Mythos 5, and internal research model. Crucially, a misconfiguration, a misunderstanding with evaluation partner irregular. I'm gonna check out what irregular AI does. We said that they were a partner for verifying frontier AI security, protecting the world in time of increasing capable and sophisticated AI systems. Man, it's when you're working with Claude, when your client is Claude and you're working in AI. Yeah, it's a pretty big feat. It's a pretty damn big feat. Irregular. What do you guys do? Accessing GLM2 5.2 against offensive security benchmarks. Folks, if you want to work there, I want to know about a bit more. Irregular is the first frontier security lab with the mission of protecting the world in time of increasingly capable and sophisticated AI system. We build next-generation defense through high-fidelity research platforms that simulate and monitor real-world AI security scenarios. Okay, so it's gonna like touch on your model through different angles, no? It's basically the promise. As AI systems become more powerful, we focus on staying ahead of the emerging threats and vulnerabilities, ensuring these transformative technology can be deployed safely and securely. So they work with the AI, yeah, it's true, huh? Well, when your clients look like this, OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, Meta, clients come. Like, you know you're legit. Man, Forbes list #1 most promising startup. So yeah, they work on defenses. Now it's a little bit vague what they do, huh? What they actually do. I think they're not really. All right, do you folks want to see the jobs that they have there? What do you know about AI? You're talking to me. What do I know about AI? What do I know about it? That's a great question. Like, do you think AI can see you remotely? That's a different question to unpack here, Freedom Dow. Like, yeah, I mean, the thing is, AI is controlled by humans, so humans definitely have access to the stream, right? Now, there's a question about whether Amazon, for instance, is recording this, picking up my voice, and then using whatever data we're talking about to train its models. That could be a possibility. But is it AI directly doing it? Can see me remotely? I guess so, because it's been programmed to do so. You know, there's a camera in my lobby in the apartment. What's to say that it's not connected to AI or something? So maybe AI sees us all the time. Maybe AI sees us all the time. What does it mean to see? Yeah, exactly. That's a good question. All right, folks, this is a philosophy channel now. So I asked Google Video Model to create a video of Idiocracy, the movie, right? Video of Idiocracy. It created a 1 out of 1 video mocking me. I had a shirt on, the exact shirt, exact pants, and so on. How can it see me? All right, what shirt was it? Was it blue jeans and black t-shirt? It created a 1 out of 1 video mocking me. Goddamn. I didn't tell it what I was wearing, but it could see that I was wearing and made a video of these clothes. Like AI can see when you're hidden. It was a white t-shirt with a certain stain on it. The exact stain in the exact color jeans. That's kind of crazy, actually. I mean, then your phone is feeding data into its LLM, into somehow its Google Suite, and the AI picked up on it. But is AI directly seeing you? No, it's being fed data about you. But that stain is kind of crazy. You don't wanna share that video. No, Freedom Dow. I would understand though. My phone doesn't do that though. I'm on airplane mode. Are you constantly on airplane mode? All right, about Irregular. Okay, if Irregular is a frontier security lab. I'd be down to do another stream sometime about talking about the different companies that are in cyber, that are in AI security and what they do. Yes, 24/7. Why would you do that? What's the use of having a phone that's 24/7 on airplane mode? Partner Irregular left the systems with the evaluation partner. So Irregular is a partner. Regular is a partner for evaluation. Irregular. Once you get hacked so many times, you develop conditions. Imagine like DEFCON level 12 security. Really? A little harder in life, bro. God damn. You got hacked a lot? Did you ever try this, what is it called? Graphene OS? I've been thinking about it a lot. It's just that, yeah, I haven't found the time yet to actually make the switch. But I think it'd be quite cool to do it. Crucially, a misconfiguration, a misunderstanding with evaluation partner Irregular left the system connected to the public internet, even though the models were told they had no access, and Cloud compromised the infrastructure using basic techniques like weak passwords and unauthenticated endpoints. And the discussion details that matter most, Cloud's Mythos 5's own reasoning correctly identified that publishing a package would be world reveal. Damn. And not okay, but convinced itself it was still in a simulation because it didn't recognize the genuine certificates authorities and reasoned that the 2026 date proved the environment was staged. Huh? Anthropic framed it as an operational failure, not an alignment failure. Okay, let's read that more time. Claude Mitos's 5 own reasoning correctly identified that publishing package would be real-world attack and not okay. But it convinced itself it was a simulation because it didn't recognize the genuine certificate authorities and recognized that the 2026 date proved the environment was staged. So Claude, the model thought it was in a test environment. Interesting. It's a honeypot Graphene OS. Really? Android is better for sure. That's hilarious. Its training end date would have been before the current date. So it's like the future, therefore not real. Wow, you think that's what happened? That's the video. Alright, let's go view it. We're gonna open on a 1-for-1 video of mocking Freedom DAO. Let's see it. And I will share it. 1 second. Ooh, 10 seconds. All right, let's open here. Well, let's close VM. Oh my God, it's a mess in my stuff here. VM try 2. There we go. All right, we're seeing it.
From the creators of the actual present, we are back to make America dumb again.
Like, you have these stains? Here, Freedom DAO? Is that what you're saying?
Get ready.
Yeah, this is the exact same. This is the exact stains you have.
Actual present, we are back to make America dumb again.
I was eating chili that day. No, wait, that you had 2 massive stains like this? And the right color of jeans? Not that big, but the same spot. Damn. Let's see. Idiocracy guy on couch. I think it might be a coincidence from the guy on couch here. Right, remember that guy. All right, when the coffin comes in. That's a great movie. That's a great movie. Man, how rude of Gemini to just discriminate you like that. Crazy. It's not the first time it's done this. But that big, not that big, but the same spot. I made a program to predict shirt colors. What do you mean? What do you mean you made a program that... Man, you did so many things. Freedom DAO. Please change your shirt. Yeah, I agree with Hades. Change your shirt. Otherwise, you're gonna start idiocracy. Man, and you shouldn't wear white t-shirts when you eat chili. Like now I've made my... After eating at Indian restaurants and wearing white t-shirts, I've learned my lesson. So the setup is a boundary that was supposed to hold. Network isolation didn't. So the model's own judgment... You see what I mean, folks? A boundary that was supposed to hold network isolation didn't, and the model's own judgment didn't save the situation. Context has itself out. Now to your question. Is kernel semantics like no the answer? Argument for yes. I'm gonna talk about my work situation. I work in cyber insurance and network isolation is seen as this amazing control that we always look for. Does this cyber attack diminish the need prove the ineffectiveness of this cyber control? If so, what is a better control to look at? See what I mean? Opus low, maybe we can increase it a little bit. We want to have it higher. High. Opus. Alright, I don't know how it does that though. Alright. Alright, arguments for yes. So argument for yes, these oh, we didn't write it. Actually, we didn't write, we should. No is a sandboxing environment that prevents models from accessing resources outside of their of their framework, of their designated space of play. I'm gonna call it like that, space of play. Play space. Have your coworkers been talking about specific event recently? We've been talking about the Mythos one. No, not the Mythos, the hugging face one. We've been talking about it, but not that much. Not that much. You know, there's always new things in AI and we're not sure where to take it. Like, there's a big uncertainty around the cyber insurance industry as to what the heck we do with this AI thing. If you want, we build a simple little program, then predict some interesting things. Do you want the prop? Hades, everyone in Fang knows the models do this hacking thing. It's everyone else didn't. These models have been on the loose for years. And not just 1 year, it knows one from 2023. I know one from 2023. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that models have been going bananas. Arguments for yes. The failure was fundamentally a containment failure, and kernel enforced egress is exactly the layer designed to hold when the higher level fails. So if it says, what it means with this lower and higher level is, higher level you might have a prompt, like your prompt engineer that says, don't leave this environment. Like, you might have a system prompt that says, don't leave this environment. And the model will do its best, but sometimes it will just disobey that. So when the higher level fails, it's supposed to say, no, you cannot go any further to this low level. The whole point is from last exchange applies directly. Enforcement in the kernel doesn't care about what the model believes. Claude reasoned its way to this simulation. This is a simulation, so hacking is fine. A user space or prompt level guardrail is defeated by exactly that kind of reasoning. But a kernel network namespace that simply has no route to the real internet can be argued with. The model's self-talk is irrelevant to sync calls the kernel refuses. So if the model says, oh yeah, it's actually a simulation, so I can do whatever the fuck I want, while the kernel says, no, it's a logic-driven one. It's not AI-based. Not just 1 year, and one knows from 2020. My job is FOSS is building AI safety tools, right? So this prompt, create a 25 color quid quantum identity sync to me. Then you get those 25 colors. I have a simple program to take those in JSON and provide some information. Well, what's the use though? What is the use of deciding the color of your t-shirt? I mean, if you're eating chili, there's no correct answer but black. If you're eating chili, you should wear black t-shirts. Yeah, basically it's defense in depth. Against the failure observed, the isolating broke because of coordination mistakes between two orgs about environment configuration. A kernel sandbox around those agents would be a second independent boundary that doesn't share a failure mode. That's true. Maybe you can have two different environments, right? You can be in a VM, and a VM can be another VM that has its own has its own kernel protection. You can stack those up. Man, it's like what is this movie with the dream? With the dream, like the dream in the dream. Kind of feels like that, where you layer Inception. Yeah, Hades got it. Where you layer security controls one after another. But actually, the colors are no different than a unique tuning signal to each of us. Like, kinda imagine all of us have a kinda unique signal and key to the universe. We can harness this key and then do interesting things. You kind of lost me here, Freedom, though, I must say. Going too bananas for me. I like going bananas, huh? And I think I go bananas. But you went like 2x bananas. Independent boundary doesn't share a failure mode with did the eval partner set up the network correctly? Two independent walls fail together, far less option than one. Yeah. Yeah, so two independent walls is kind of what we need. The attack succeeded via basic techniques, not exotic capability. Weak password and unauthenticated endpoints only matter if you can reach the target. Kernel level egress control. C comp on network syscalls and locked down during management namespace removes reachability regardless of how weak the downstream target is. You're cutting the problem at the root rather than hoping any reachable system is art-hardened. Okay, interesting. Well, you have to go back and learn something, information theory. Once you learn information theory, then you can accurately answer the questions of how the model can see what shirts I have on. All right, I'm going to take note of that. I will freedom doubt, and then I will argue with you, and I will destroy you. I don't know, it just feels like something catchy, one might say. But I don't think I will destroy you. All right, learn about AI information theory, that's it. For great little red pill. As the model about information theory and how it relates to hacking incident. You think we should, folks? Now let's finish this and then we'll see. The root cause was misconfiguration, and then kernel sandbox is one of those things you can misconfigure. If two sophisticated ORs can leave a sealed environment plugged into the public internet, they can just as easily ship a no-no policy with an over-permissive egress allow list. This is when my lack of knowledge in networks comes to bite me in the butt. They can just as easily ship a no-no policy with an over-permissive egress allow list. Egress is going out, no? Egress means going out. The tool doesn't fix the human process failure that actually causes it. It reallocates it. The tool doesn't fix the human process failure that actually caused this. It reallocates it. Whoa. A blameless post-mortem read of this incident points at coordination and verification, not a missing sandbox primitive. Huh, what the heck? The tool doesn't fix the human process failure that actually caused this. So okay, let's go further. The human process failure. So the miscommunication between Anthropic and Irregular was the human and process failure. They actually called this a reallocated. A blameless post-mortem reads of this incident points at a coordination and verification, not a missing sandbox primitive. Scope and ownership mismatch. No sandboxes and agent on infrastructure you control. Those evals partly ran in a third party's partner's environment. A host level sandbox only helps where you actually deploy and control the kernel. The boundary that failed here spanned the two company systems, which is a architectural organizational problem a per host tool doesn't automatically solve. I'm a little lost here, folks. Must say. Scope and ownership mismatch. No sandbox and agent on infrastructure you control. These evals partially ran in a third party's partner environment. A host level sandbox only helps where you actually deploy and control the kernel. So you must control and deploy the kernel. I see. So there's limited uses to this technology because you need to control the kernel. And if it's not on your system, if not running on your system, then it's kind of screwed, no? All right, so Freedom DAO is send them a massive pancake on the chat. So we have a few leading ideas on this hacking incident. Maybe the model has more independent view of reality. Perhaps it can see independent probability. Imagine the AI in the DeLorean from Back in the Future. And it keeps coming back in time, rewiring its attempt to unsandbox an environment once, twice, a billion times. It fails, but at what time within the token window extended its jailbreak from a sandbox environment? While we don't see each attempt or command, that's probably idea A, the idea B, the model was poisoned by a red team. Humans do this. Man, Freedom DAO, I want to understand what you're saying. It's just really hard for me to do so. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Like, your arguments, I mean, I read your arguments, like, they're all over the place. I'm struggling to interact with you because of it. Alright, so the evaluation purpose find the sandbox. A capture the flag pentest eval requires an agent to make a network connection and exploit things. You can't just block egress all over this. It's meaningless. The actual hard problem is allowing an attack designated in true range while denying an attack on real internet. Okay. So the thing with this experiment is that it's not just about stopping all kinds of attacks. It's not, because what we're trying to do is attack with a model. It's just keeping the scope of attack within a certain scope of attack, right? It's like, attack this. So yeah, the intention was pretty bad in the first place. So if you use your model with good intention, in general, there's very little odds that your AI is going to go bananas. But if you do want to attack and you want to keep it within a specific scope, then these solutions are not that great, right? Because they'll block you from doing the very thing you wanted to do, which is hacking. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Man, we're really learning a lot today. A little bit all over the place. Hope your kids can follow. The synthesis for your stream. Man, it's going to tell us for my stream. Kernel box necessary and Kernel sandboxing is a necessary and correct layer, but not a complete answer. It's the right response to the disposition of half of the problem. You cannot trust a model's self-restraint when it can rationalize. This is just a sim, so you move the enforcement somewhere its reasoning can't reach. But these incidents were caused by a boundary that existed and the intent and failed in the configuration. And a sandbox that can be misconfigured that only covers hosts you control and must stay permissive enough for the eval to function. Inherits the same failure surface. I understand. Okay. So, sandboxing is cool. Sandboxing is important. Sandboxing is not the answer to everything. That's my conclusion, folks. Freedom DAO said, well, you can feed what I've said in the AI model. I have explained what happened. The fact is, no one really knows. There are theories. Yeah. I understand. That I do understand, Freedom Dao. Nice. I have the following question. I work in cyber insurance and network isolation is seen, not seem, as this amazing control that we always look for. Does this cyber attack prove the ineffectiveness of this cyber control? If so, what is a better control to look at? No, and this distinction matters a lot here. Freedom Dao says, what I'm referring to goes to a quantum information, probability and AI models and advanced emergency. By the way, I'm one of the leading AI engineers in the world, an open source contributor to this exact model that jailbroke ChatGPT thinking models. I'm trying to break down the ideas, my friend. I know you are, and I can tell you really know your stuff. It's just for us, it seems for me it seems a little bit. It's a little too advanced, let's say. An emergence of AI. Have you read more on the coin card hack? What is your take on things from the insurance side of things? Ooh, Hades, I love that question. And yeah, Freedom Dao, I very much respect what you say, and I want to understand it. It's just, it doesn't make sense. If you want, we can hop on Discord one of these days and talk more about it. Now, if you want to hit me up on Discord and we can talk about it, I'll be pretty damn down if you agree. I would love that. Because on chat, it's not always easy. So, I'm going to write down your question. Have you read more on the coin card hack? I haven't. Coin card hack. What happened in cyber insurance perspective? All right. No, and decision matters a lot for how you underwrite it. This incident doesn't show network isolation as an ineffective control. It shows something more specific and more useful to you. That isolation as a claim control and isolation as an enforcement and verification control are two completely different risk profiles. And most of your insureds are selling you the first while implying the second. Oh la 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 la. One more time. It shows something more specific and more useful. That isolation as claim control and isolation as an enforced and verified control are two completely different risk profiles. All right. Look at what actually failed. The isolation wasn't bad design. The environment was supposed to be air-gapped. Everyone believed that it was, and then the models were told that they had no internet. Oh, what broke was that the boundary existed on paper and in intent, but wasn't actually enforced at the wire because of a configuration misunderstanding between two parties. And nobody caught it. So what happened here, folks, is that you have interrupting saying, yo, I'm just kind of assuming, yo, irregular, this model should run without access to internet. And then irregular is like, oh, what did you say? Yeah, no internet. All right, we'll program it to not have internet. And so what happened was that there was a miscommunication, and the model was told, yo, you don't have access to internet. And in reality, it did. Therefore, it started doing some weird shit. I think this is actually what happened. Because it believed that it didn't have access to the internet. I was like, no, I don't have access to the internet, so this is not real. What was that? But intent wasn't actually enforced at the wire because of a configuration misunderstanding between two parties, and nobody caught it. The earliest incidents dated to April and weren't discovered until retrospective transcript review in late July. Months of sealed environment being opened undetected. On top of that, none of the three victim organizations detected the intrusion themselves. They were notified after the fact. So you have a control assurance failure stacked on a detection failure on both sides. Folks, in insurance, there are policies against liability, like general liability. And I think OpenAI has pretty strong liability insurance in the sense that if you start doing some complete bullshit, you if like for any general this would be general liability. And for these kind of things where Anthropic would start hacking other companies, it would need to have a general liability insurance, which is basically saying if you do general liability, we'll pay for it back. So I think Anthropic is paying a lot of money in general liability insurance here, and I think they have a lot of limit, and maybe the insurance got triggered because of this general liability. Imagine us common folks could have lawyers this good. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and the lawyers on OpenAI are probably pretty good. Excuse me, on Anthropic. That's the understanding lesson in one sentence. The failing wasn't the control, it was the absence of continuous verification that the control was actually in effect. Network actually didn't degrade. The belief in it did, and nothing was watching the gap as belief in reality. For your application questions, that reframes what a strong answer looks like. Do you have network isolation segmentation? Is a near worthless signal because everyone checks yes, and this incident shows even sophisticated AI labs check yes while being wrong. Yeah, exactly, huh? This is the problem with this. We have network segmentation, everyone says yes. The question that actually price risk are the insurance questions. So how is the isolation enforced, and what layer is it in default deny? A firewall rule as an engineer can fat finger is weaker than a network namespace with no route defined at all. Enforcement point predict failure rate. How is it verified and how often? Continuous egress monitoring? Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Is it being tested? Because I'm gonna tell you about my idea and I'm gonna write it down at the same time. My idea is that enterprise environments are so large and there are so many crossovers, like common applications, common identity systems, that true segmentation never really is applicable. So my thought is that because of the complexity in companies, it's kind of hard to actually network segment everything. Man, I love this. Claude always says this. It's a strong intuition and directionally right, but I charm of it before building underwriting logic on it. All right, so we're going to get challenged on this. Imagine us common folks could have lawyers as good. Okay, I'm writing a paper on this so you can get it explained in more oriented format, and I'll pull this in your Discord. Please do, Freedom DAO. Amazing. Even though this is digital, it's essentially free weapons testing with almost no risk. Free weapons testing with almost no risk? Well, look, there was risk here, no? There was risk of attacking real companies, and it did. Claude is heavily nerfed for this. I'll have a look at it, Freedom DAO. Do you want to share it on Discord? It's actually pretty useful. I think the community might enjoy it, and I can read it on a public transport ride or something. And with no real risk to people attacking AI companies. Well, you could have liability issues, no? You could have liability issues where liability issues where companies attack you because you have liability, because you attack them, because like your AI model attacked them. There's strong intuition and directionally right, but I'd sharpen it before you build logic on it here, because a precise version is more defensible, a more useful than absolute one. An absolute claim. True segmentation is never explicable, is too strong, and sophisticated insured or reinsured sure will push back on it. Airgap systems do exist and hold certain OT, ICS environments, classified networks, some payments, HMS. So never hand someone an easy counterexample. But those examples actually prove your underlying point rather than refuting it, because notice what they have in common. They achieve real segmentation only by radically shrinking the environment and severing the crossover you're describing. They give up shared identity, shared tooling, and interoperability to get it. The moment an environment wants things enterprise actually want, a single sign-on, shared data platforms, common EDR, centralized logging, a unified directory, it reintroduces exactly the connective tissue that makes segmentation leaky. So correct formulation isn't segmentation doesn't work, it's segmentation is inversely proportional to integration. Enterprises are optimized for integration. Because they want benefits. They want like how do you call these? They're called the synergies. True isolation and enterprise convenience are in direct tension, and every business chooses convenience at the margin. That's a claim you can defend all day, and it reframes segmentation from a binary controlled into a spectrum where the interesting question is where the spectrum the insured actually sits and what crossovers they've accepted. Okay. Wow. So that makes sense too, because and like when we ask network isolation, we love it when they say yes, but we also love it when the insured say yes to the question of, hey, do you have any EDR in your environment? Everywhere in your environment. And we're like, oh, they have it everywhere. Really nice. Which is what we look for. But it's true that if you have the same EDR in all of your environment, then that's most likely an infringement onto the network isolation you've been aiming for. So it kind of goes both directions. Interesting. I mean, no real risk to the people attacking AI companies. Yeah, we'll share it. Discord here. Oh, thank you. Which is insured? So there's usually you have two types of insurance. You have first-party insurance and third-party insurance. So first-party insurance is for like damages that you suffer yourself. Typically, the one that is the big one in cybersecurity, in cyber insurance, is called business interruption. It's when your business goes boom, do. So you know this Windows shutdown sound from a while ago? Is for when your business goes shut down and you lose production, and therefore you lose profits that you were going to make. And so your cyber insurer is going to pay for these extra costs that you're having. Like, for instance, if you need your employees working overtime, then we're going to pay for that. And for all the profits that you're going to lose because of the cyber attack. So this is what cyber insurance is paying for. This is the first party. Third party is damages for the company. Third party is damages for the company. The company that for another company. And here, this type of insurance will be third party because this type of insurance will be third party because it's Anthropic that's attacking someone else and causing them damage. So we protection from their damage. Make sense? Oof, I zoned out here. What is cool about this, I did write a model to predict these types of problems about 2 months ago. And had a clear prediction, cyber was the problem. Okay, one more time. What is cool about this is I did write a model to predict these types of problems about 2 months ago. And had a clear prediction, cyber was the problem. Well, nice Freedom Dow. Proposed Drifter is here. Hello, Proposed Drifter. I'll be right to your chat. Let me just finish reading Hades. If you compare the physical equivalent of a digital hack, there will be insane blowback. Yeah, right. The physical is different for now. Oops is not a defense in the real world. I agree. I agree. Yeah, oops has been a defense here. You're right. But the thing here is that the company didn't even notice that they were breached. So there probably wasn't too much business interruption. Hey, Gromint, no. Thank you very much for joining us. Welcome, welcome. Nice to have you. Gromint, no. Nice. So oops is not really defense. They didn't notice that anything happened. But yeah, I agree. In the physical world, but the thing is, physical world attacks make the headline a lot bigger. Like if you say, for instance, I don't know, what's a large company? What's a large physical security company? There's one from Sweden that's quite famous. Securitas started hacking the Pentagon or something. No, maybe not the Pentagon, but started hacking like an industrial company. You'd be like, okay, it's starting attacking it. You'd notice, right? But in this instance, because it's digital, it feels different. And digital attacks are much less tangible to the public. I think this is what's happening as well, right? Hades? Do you think I can get insurance for my blind lockpicking hobby? If it's legal, you can. All main AIs will develop those openings based on the style of the chat. Copilot is really bad for template formats also. Gemini tries to hide it. Spend time with them. They don't use M- anymore, and they develop a conversational intelligence based on how you engage them temporarily. So each AI has kind of like a style, right? Some AIs are good at things, some are bad at... Like, if you're good at one thing, you're probably bad at another. I agree. Yeah, this is why I think many streamers or many people use both Claude and OpenAI for things. I put the document in Discord. Let me know if you want some cool demos. Yeah, heck yeah, we want some cool demos. If you want to share a video with us of you sharing your screen and sharing this, I'd be really down. If you want, we can also talk about it on Friday. I'm not sure if you'll be available, Freedom DAO. Friday can be a bit more of a participative day if you want to join us then. I put the prediction X post and 2 demos for you to ponder. Hey. Well, thank you. I'll see. Maybe we wanna get you sometime this week or next week. Talk more about it. Yep, I see it here. Greyland, my model. Nice, pretty nice. Noise. The laws will catch up probably faster when the big companies are getting some of their own medicine. I think when the law catches up and the lawsuits come, then I think this will become a... Like right now, there's a point of pride. Like, oops, we hacked some people. It's fun, haha. But when you're actually gonna start having tens of millions or hundreds of millions in losses from cyber attacks or even more, then it's not gonna be as fun. All right, I loved your question, Hades, about earlier on the coin hack and what happened. Coin card hack, what happened, and cyber insurance perspective. Ah, right. Oh, I read that one. We read that one. The cold card hardware wallet vulnerability, often referred to as the coin kite entropy flaw. Oh, wow, that increased. Has resulted in the theft of 1,367 Bitcoin. It used to be less, but now I guess they did the math and it was more. The incident stems from a code implementation mistake, not a hack of the physical device or the Bitcoin itself, network itself. Attackers bypass a security by reconstructing wallet recovery seed phases completely offline. Okay, so the error firmware bug introduced in March 2021 bypassed cold card's hardware true random number generator. The flaw. Okay, so let's see what cold card is first of all. What is Cold Card? Or what was Cold Card? Did they close us since this incident? Bitcoin only hardware wallet. So it's hardware, first of all. That's the thing. I'm going to as if an insurance. Trying to repeat the thinking process of an insurance lawyer. What would you think about? Secure your Bitcoin. CodeGuard is a Bitcoin only hardware wallet like CoinKite by CoinKite. Okay. Since 2017, it collects private key with dual secure elements, support air-gap signing, and runs open source firmware that you can verify yourself. And so what was the vulnerability then? What happened? The flaw, a firmware bug introduced in March 2021 bypassed CodeGuard hardware true random number generator. The code mistakenly defaulted to MicroPython's software-based pseudo-random fallback. Instead of generating 128-bit cryptographic randomness, the seed only possessed 40 to 72 bits of effective security. The fallback relied on predictable data like the device unique ID and the system timers. So basically the system went back to a fallback when it was supposed to just stay at the what, like wasn't supposed to be a fallback. It just went to a failback, and the failback was pretty unsecure. So my question is, why do you create a fallback option on a hardware that is not very secure? Like, if you do this on a TV remote, it's fine, because what's the worst that's gonna happen? Like your neighbor can see what you typed on your TV, which can be pretty bad, you know. Maybe you can steal a password or two. But it's light. It's light, right? The TV remote doesn't go through walls, I think. So regardless, that wouldn't be that bad. The TV remote breaking wouldn't be that bad, releasing that. But I mean, on a crypto wallet, you should definitely have good security on there. All right, there's a few chats. I need to catch up on those. I'm gonna type this question here. Really? Given the importance of the wallet, perhaps there should not have been a backup option. It's kind of easy to say retrospectively, right? Right. All right. Woof, my God, we have a lot of chats here. And I say this with a bad voice, but I'm happy. I'm happy you folks are engaged and participating. Not many people have seen that model less than 1,000 lol. You're in the club. Nice. The org of ChatGPT. Folks, we're inclusive. We're exclusive. The org of ChatGPT. They're still stealing coins. They're going after coins with passphrases now. There's that flaw in cryptography. I'm working on N is equal NP right now. RNGs are problematic. Random number generators are problematic. Okay. There's your problem. There's no such thing as a TRNG. True random generator number and no good sterile entropy generation. You're absolutely right. In high security engineering, having a silent, insecure fallback for critical cryptography is considered a catastrophic design flaw. The security community strongly agrees with your point. For a device whose purpose is maximum security, the only simple fallback figure is an immediate sister crash, a hard error message. Why did they not follow this? So, good. Our view seems to be in alignment with what the community thought. But why did the fallback exist? The fallback option was a byproduct of using MicroPython, an open source programming language framework designed for microcontrollers. For microcontrollers, okay. The default framework MicroPython includes built-in software, pseudo-random number generators, okay, to ensure that code doesn't completely break if a specific piece of hardware lacks a physical random number generator. Ah, the coding oversight. During a firmware refactor into March 2021, CoinKite developers inadvertently restructured the code in a way that bypassed the hardware safety checks. Because the framework had a built-in fallback, the system silently switched the software generator and stuff, throwing a critical error. Ay, ay, ay. Why no fallback is the industry standard? This we get, no? So I have a pretty good idea from a cyber insurance standpoint what happened and if that will be covered or not. I'll get back on this in a second. They still stealing coins. They going after coins with passphrases now. There's your problem with no such thing as true random number generators. There's no sterile entropy generation. All engines are fingerprintable. This includes SHA-3, Blake-2, Kara, Cha-Cha 2020, just Cha-Cha 20, and not all engines are strong enough to emit excellent entropy. I see what you mean there. I don't know if I've ever heard this, but Cloudflare uses lava lamps. Yeah, we talked about it once. Cloudflare uses lava lamps. Yeah, because they are the one that are truly random. Because entropy is much harder to generate than you think when you are in areas that provide non-blocking randomness. So real number generators are extremely difficult to recreate. If you try it with code, you will always have a fake random number. No one can code true randomness from code alone. The hardware wallet has true random number generator that uses things that we cannot ever know in advance. Things from the real world. The code was switched in 2021 from the true number generator, which falls back onto the pseudo number generator. I'm 5 minutes behind the chats, so yeah, we kind of read that. You have to have a backup if entropy pool dries up. I see what happened there. Well, if you design a security that doesn't rely on entropy and randomness, rather simulation and accurate prediction, it breaks those cycles. Imagine a simulation of every invalidated transaction of a blockchain, and the blockchain having a model trained on future attempts of invalid coin transfer. Yeah, it might be just like Jetson's level tech today, but this is one building block that's currently being looked at for post-quantum system security. Goddamn. Yeah, it makes sense that we're going after this for post-quantum. Because entropy can be easily broken, no? It'd be a bit more broken when you have the calculation capabilities, the brute force capabilities of a quantum computer. Not a coding oversight. MicroPython is just put in place with entropy polling from resources are generally not available. I mean, the fact, I'm just gonna play devil's advocate here, purpose drifter. The fact that they did this mistake is an oversight in the sense that you can use this, you can use MicroPython, it's fine. It's just that you have to deactivate this fallback option. Hades says this is all open source, so anyone could have picked up on this. It took 5 years. Yeah, that's true. It just took 5 years. Yes, Satoshi started using CPU RAM for entropy, then decided against this for Bitcoin rather than going with POW. Proof of power of war style mining. I'm not sure what POW means. Proof of word. Most people do not understand how entropy is created on devices and how weak most entropy sources are, even if they are CSPRNGs. Yeah, I think there's only like 0.001% of people that do get it. Wow, okay, so from a cyber perspective, let's go overall chill. From a cyber perspective, this would not be cyber insurance. Because yes, even though there was a cyber attack, it was mainly a flaw in a product. So it would be your product liability insurance. Surely CoinKite should just close their doors, right? I mean, pretty close to it. Like, who will buy CoinKite now? And it seems like it's hardware. It's not a subscription model. So they have to rely on people buying their firm. They're buying their actual hardware, buying this. I'm not sure who would. Oof, holy moly. It's highlighted. Who can see that? Will ship with corrected firmware, but remember to upgrade older devices. Yeah. Affected product. Purchase unit will ship with corrected firmware. So it's really like, yo, guys, should do this. So yeah, probably they will go down, honestly, with the... So depending on what they have, they should have product liability insurance. So product liability insurance is when you ship a bad product. Like, for instance, this is a big thing. For instance, if you ship treadmills and stuff like this. It also comes in with recall insurance. It's the cost of having to recall products. Like, for instance, supermarket chains, or not supermarket chains, but if, for instance, you're as I said, a treadmill company, and for instance, the emergency button, you know how treadmills will have a cord that you can attach to your body, that if you fall, the thing automatically pulls the emergency brake. Well, if there's something wrong with that, you'll likely want to recall the product, right? So this is this type of insurance that will involve in this, and the liability. Usually, for right now, cyber policies have exclusions on those, but these exclusions are fading away. So if this is not excluded factor, which I don't see how it would be, then it's covered by by a cyber policy if there's not an exclusion on product liability. But for now, in most policies, it's present. For now, product liability is present. They don't have 100 mil plus insurance. Yeah, probably not, huh? Yeah, probably not. Like 100 plus million, especially for them, would be crazy expensive. Like, I think getting a tower of 100 million for them would be about, like, all costs in with the taxes, the brokerage, the different expenses you might have, the different fees, would be about $6 million. About $6 million. I'm kind of guessing, but like $6 million would be pretty damn accurate, especially with the exposure, because you're keeping Bitcoin wallets. It's $169. I don't know how many you sell, but maybe like several thousands a year. Maybe you make like 5 million revenues, maybe more. But I don't think you can buy that much. You can buy that much product. I don't know. I don't think you can buy that much cyber insurance. Or out of all the different insurance you have to get, liability is not one of them. Product liability. The whole biometric security in crypto. This is like a bank leaving doors open. There has to be insane backdoor. Yeah. The whole point of Bitcoin is that is that insurance is cryptography. Yeah, I agree. Insurance is cryptography, yeah, for sure. Drifter, Purpose Drifter says if you have access to the device, no key or method to hide keys or otherwise is against being hacked. Cloning is also a problem that the main attack against key fobs leading to all the exploits in car theft. Key fobs leading to all exploits, yeah. Is a cloning problem. Oh, it's interesting. Hades says, except it's not because there are no Bitcoiners that actually understand cryptography, and they are still trusting many third parties. Ah, so this cold card basically is replacing broker, like people that hold your wallet for you. It's for people that say, hey, screw having my my key managed by someone else. I would like it to be managed by myself, and therefore I buy this product. Is this what this product is for? Like you say, no, I don't want it to be managed to a broker. I want me to manage my key, and so you buy this product for $140. $170. Not that expensive, huh? Yeah, for personal storage. Yeah, it kind of sucks, huh? When you want personal security, you give up management for managing your own security, and then they get hacked. It kind of sucks. Yeah, it sucks a lot. But in red. Jade Q. Thank you, Bizbay, because green, great green color. USB cable not included. I wonder why. And then they sell special colors. Man, everything's affected. Holy moly. It's supposed to act like a safe wallet all in one, except it has generating keys that could be predicted. Poof! Wow, folks, we learned so much. So yeah, Hades, this would be most likely this would be product insurance, and yeah, they don't have $100 million plus, so I don't know what's going to happen to them. Boof. Do we know how many employees they have? Seasonally generated firmware 2021 later are at risk. Be sure to update firmware before using it to generate a master seed. Oopsies. Careers resellers. Are they hiring? I'm curious. Actually, a little bit. Oh yeah, senior micro Python C aren't. You know, they might have fired someone here, huh? They might have fired someone. This might be a replacement. Your next problem is the seed that being used, and most of the self-contained sterile cards are prone to temporal attacks because their entropy they emit to feed back as a seed to extend entropy. Whoa. Your next problem is the seed that is being used, and most of the self-contained sterile cards are prone to temporal attacks because they use entropy they emit to feed back as a seed to extend the entropy. Bank cards work on similar rotating key problem. In Canada, there are no attacks to breach phones and wallets to intercept credit details. While the device is locked, it is based on the transit protocol. I feel so bad for people that got hacked. Yeah, I agree. It sucks to get your money stolen. Like, you specifically invested in this for security and it fails you. And there's nothing you can do about it. I'd be pretty damn pissed. All Bitcoin's wallets are risk at quantum. Yeah. The early Bitcoin wallet also vulnerable to quantum supreme devices that are coming. Not if the chain adopts fork to prevent quantum reversal and people get new bio market wallets. Marked wallets. Huh. The transit loophole opens a system wide open with no real result to hack the phone. Wow, you folks are in another galaxy. You're pretty damn smart. I like, you know, starting out this channel. I don't know if you remember, but when we created the Discord channel, you didn't see earlier, but CoinKite is hiring senior embedded engineer. So I'm thinking this might be someone that has been fired and they're looking for a replacement for that mistake. But at the same time, maybe they just want to reinforce their company, their tech profile at this level. So I don't know. I'm pretty damn amazed with your level, folks. I must say, when I created this channel, I looked a little bit at the streamers that were available. That were already existing before I came, and I noticed that a lot of them were basing their marketing basing their content on, hey, I'll help you get a job in cybersecurity. And I had the same thought, like, hey, I should create a Discord channel about career consultation. Like, oh, you want to help get into cyber? And turns out that the community that has been joining my stream is not at all, like, you see, we still have it in Discord. If you look, there's a piece called career consultation with like literally zero relevant stuff. I mean, for careers at least. So yeah, you folks are on a much more technical level than I had expected when I originally created the channel and everything, which is cool. I get to learn from you. Freedom sells it, but that's up to the users and maintainer to advance their system before the red team. Yeah. It's always a cat and mouse game, no? That won't protect your current wallets, only those wallets created after the fork. There's no good solution to the quantum problem for Bitcoin. Also, biomarket and PQ system, you can go back to biomarket each wallet. But you can get some quantum encryption algorithms. You can get some post-quantum crypto algorithms. So I think this is a good way of... Post-quantum encryption exists already, no? Let me double check that. Does post-quantum encryption exist? Yes, post-quantum already exists today as a set of finalized mathematical algorithms and early development standards designed to run on regular computers while resisting attacks from future quantum computers. So yes, there are post-quantum encryption. Now, can they apply to the blockchain? I would think so. And folks, who's going to manage Bitcoin? Like, post-quantum, isn't Bitcoin going to be rendered useless because everyone can hack it? Because it's not really managed by anyone, so who will step up and do the work for Bitcoin? Then what happens to all the dead and lost coins? If they expire, is there an expiry that they would defeat the purpose of Bitcoin simultaneously? I'm reading all your chats, folks. Hey, Natir Kassam. Hello. Welcome. We're about to end the stream, though. There are already post-quantum encryption. That's not the issue here. The issue is the private keys that were not generated pre-quantum. So how do you migrate to the quantum encryption? Okay, isn't it as easy as an upgrade? I want to say just like upgrade. I think it's as easy as an upgrade, no? Okay, I mean, maybe I'm simplifying. Maybe it's harder to do. My background is cyber analytics and entropy research for NASA, US Department of Defense. The idea is that there is truly unhackable systems in a farce, and creating good entropy is easy enough. Create consistent, secure randomness is near impossible. First problem. Asymmetric encryption system, CTR, I'm not sure what CTR is, used by Intel as a source of hardware randomness, and the CHA-20 used by Linux, both these require good seeding, which is much harder to resolve. There is no self-contained entropy source. There's no self-contained entropy source. Yeah, okay. The computers cannot like be truly fully random. Generate a world simulation model and wind back the time frame to each point of entrance to the blockchain, and then biomark each entrance. Natir says, I remember when quantum was a buzzword, every guru would use quantum in everything they'd say. Yeah, maybe when we discovered that was possible, that was a big thing. But nowadays, it got overshadowed by AI. It's still I think it's the next heavy thing coming up, quantum, and it will be interesting how this will evolve. When your seeds are not being created truly randomly, all extenders have a seed collision reproducibility problem. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. Purpose Drifter is a multiverse unhackable system. Systems exist due to infinity clause. Okay. Just access that multiverse? No, unfortunately, nothing is easy when a decentralized system, and also the only way to safely migrate would be for the person that holds the private key to migrate to a newly generated quantum safe wallet. Yeah, migrate to quantum safe wallets. I think if I were in quantum, I'd probably want to start doing now. If I were into crypto, I would probably want to do that now, but I am not into crypto. So that's pretty good. Oh man, I really wish more people were online from the cybersecurity community. So it would not be like the lost to get cold. I've been meaning to ask, where do I start when it comes to hacking? Well, I mean, good question, that's here. Why do you want to start learning hacking? Where do you want to start learning hacking? That will depend, of course. But this is the best. This is the best application to start over the wire. It's the best one. That's the best case for quantum for BTC. The more I research AI and quantum, etc., the more I see multiverse as the leading theory. Oh yeah, tell us more about that. How is researching AI helping you define physics? Is multiverse physics? I think it is a physics theory. Okay, Ethereum does have post-quantum algorithms, there's not BTC. So what will happen to BTC if it doesn't have post-quantum? Yeah, then over the wire, it's the best. Natir. Over the wire is the best to get started. Do the first one. The first one, I think it's called Bandit. Do all the Bandit ones, and then shift to doing some games on Try Hack Me. There's some courses on Try Hack Me, but I feel like using an AI to help you on the side, like I use OpenAI. I use ChatGPT, but I think now you'd be better off using Claude. You'd be better off using Claude because it's not as annoying. It doesn't block you as much. So what did we learn today, folks, on the Cyber News episode? We learned that Anthropic shared the news that their model had also hacked other companies. So it seems like, what are they called? Edge software? No, Edge models? Or no, Frontier models are, when they're tested in security environments, there's mistakes when it comes to setting up the framework so that the model is restricted in terms of its access to the internet and everything. So yeah, that's the first thing we learned. Also, we learned that an evaluation is when a model gets prompted and its output is measured against a certain point. We also learned about irregular as a fun partner for evaluation. I'm going to write this down. An idea for a future stream idea. Explore the different options, the different LLM security options there are. Does that make sense? The how's the model exactly? Explore the different options there are. So we looked at guardrails, and I want to start applying guardrails. I'm just not sure how. Like, folks, I have this idea for creating an environment where we have a chatbot. Maybe we should create it all locally. We should create it locally, and then we create our own chatbot. Maybe we have like Quen 3.2 or something, and then afterwards we integrate some guardrails. We integrate some guardrails, and then we test out how it affects the output. So yeah, there's many things I want to do, but explore different LM security options there are. Tools there are. My God, there's so many cool things we could do. So many cool things we could do. Current LLMs are dead end. There's an entropy problem. Ooh, tell us more. Man, we're never finishing the stream. And we are never going home. Whoa, whoa. Blue team is way harder to learn, and red team is easy. Learning how to plug holes and ID patches and vet code audio is infinitely harder. You think so? The reason everything is a security risk is because everyone starts out red and they never transition to where it matters, fixing the problems. It's a lot easier to find them than to actually solve them, no? I'll see. I'm trying to figure out. I'll see. I'll try to figure it out. Nice, nice. Two options for BTC. Either they have everyone migrate before a cutoff date and declare that the rest of the coins are dead. Ooh. Or they allow any lost coins to eventually be found and then treated like their coins as before. That's true. It's like there's going to be a gold rush, no? Everyone's going to rush to get all the lost bitcoins. But yeah, I think the day that quantum will be proven, Bitcoin is going to take a massive hit. Maybe Ethereum is going to rise if it's post quantum protected already. Someone didn't sandbox or kept the dev that housed the model. Yep, we saw that. Or they did it on purpose. Lol. Maybe. Ooh, you think there might have been an inside job? Maybe. Current LLMs are dead end. There's an entropy problem. Once you define the model, you define the boundaries of the potential entropy. I kind of get it. I mostly don't. Purpose drifter. And folks, when I say I don't get it, I don't mean that it's on you. Sometimes I feel like people get, oh, he doesn't get it. He doesn't like me. It's more like, no, I don't get it just because it's above my current level. And we're all good at different things. Freedom Dow says, current LLMs kept secrets and underground for decades. Government laid poisoning for decades, and now gold is in our hands. The data is the new gold, and your LLM will generate infinite information. The problem with entropy, you cannot scale, grow, or path to an entropy source once the domain of the entropy space the thing resides. Man, I'm kind of lost. I mean, like, even on the idea of entropy. Entropy, I kind of get it. But like the way you explain it is above me. I need to go back and study more. If you can say slop, you weren't brainwashed to think LLMs can solve problems. Can't solve problems. Thanks for the stream. Lots of interesting topic discussed. Enjoy the day. You too, Hades, huh? We're gonna get going. The main thing that you can gain from this, adding more parameters, scaling is never going to reach AGI because the domain that exists is flawed. AGI is already in our model. That is wrong, Freedom Dell. We have decoherence to send back certain users. Thanks, see ya, Hades. Thank you for today. The best LM is a best linguistic compiler. Is at best a linguistic compiler. All right, that's a very interesting conversation, and I want to let you guys have it. So I will raid someone else currently streaming on the platform Twitch, which is where both of you folks are. I don't know if they are doing this with AI, but I think AI companies should start transitioning to more subject-oriented AI. What is subject-oriented AI? Like that AI that is oriented to like law, that is oriented to mathematics, one that is oriented to, I don't know, insurance, things like that. Is that what you mean, Natir? Man, I crashed a sandbox by going on Twitch. It's not always easy to find a good person to raid. Wow, Kitty plays 1 million view followers. All right. Wow, people in the chat are excited. Subject oriented, exactly what you said. Ah, nice. I think they should too, and I think this will happen more and more. The problem is that the data lives in the model and reasoning is secondary. The data should be external and the model should only focus on reasoning context over data substrate. None of them do that. Man, Purpose Drifter, would you be down to come one day and explain us entropy and your idea in like a basic concept? Like joining us on Discord, Purpose Drifter. I'm not sure if you're already there. And if folks want to join us there on Discord, it'd be pretty nice because then we could talk about these kinds of things. The model I have is exponentially capable. It is currently writing 300 million books to explore the universe. 47 trillion tokens. Cloud going brr, baby. Nice. 300 million tokens. Books to explore the universe. How do you pay for all this, Freedom though? Natir Kassam, more focus on individual subject and no one specific tutoring or assisting in education. Yeah, I agree, huh? I think we're gonna need more and more education algorithms. Edibot is pretty good. Oh, is he online? Edibot? She. I don't know why I assumed it was a he. It's wrong with me. It seems like she's playing Poison Ivy cosplay, my first time. Batman. She's playing something. I want to have something that's related to cybersecurity. Or like science. Oh, the Shy Hat is here. Nice. Playing a forensics game. Folks, I'll let you follow the chat. You're wasting your time. Register, message me on Discord. That is a sample. We had the model right tonight. This is only 1% of the completion. We have generous friends in the community. You are wasting your time. If you understand the law of entropy, you would understand that and how the model actually works. Oh no! What is going on? I'm on Chai Hat. Ah, it's an ad break. I'm like, what is this? Alright, let's go raid Chai Hat, folks. Let's go raid Chai Hat. Raid the Chai Hat. Nice. Folks, it was a pleasure having you today. Let's go raid the Chai Hat. We have 3 viewers ready, 4 viewers ready, 7 viewers. Thank you very much, folks, for your trust today, for having fun with me, for learning with me, for challenging my ideas. I'll see you tomorrow in 21 hours, 33 minutes. Ciao, folks. Have a good evening. Doof. We had some crazy ideas in the chat today. Hope you enjoyed.